Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming's The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 15, Worth Countdown. Tonight is going to be super exciting. I know I saw many of you earlier today for The Walking Dead Junkies. We had a good Simon past, present, and very short future discussion earlier today. I must warn you, tonight we'll have some spoilers. It will have some predictions. So if you're just popping in and you think it's some random Walking Dead stream, it is not. We're going to get to a little bit of tonight's episode, so you have been warned. Just want to let you know what's going on. Hey, Wilson, see you in there. I want to say good evening to everyone. I see some super chatters already in the house, just rocking the show here. So it looks like Scott talking about some awesome Q&A earlier. Post another question for me, Scott, as well. And we got, who else? Wilson in the house with a super chat. Valar says, what's up to 99 Army? Kill Steph, Emmy, Kels, Bree, Sweet Tom, the sponsors and Patreons. And also Pete D, the, forever wondering if Tara's going to make it another episode. Yes, Pete D, Tara will be with us next week as well, so we're not getting rid of her quite that easily. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. We're going to go through just a real quick recap of what we know and what we think. We know quite a bit, but there's a little bit of speculation that's going to come out as well. So, and see Joshua up here with a question too. I think you should do a video on it. So when Enid and Aaron went to Oceanside, the Saviors were still trapped in Sanctuary. How does he know that they need Oceanside so bad? He left when they needed help anyway. That's a good question. I'm going to have to go back and watch the timetable of it to see what exactly is going on with Aaron and Enid. I know she said, let me go with you, we need a win, but they did know that they still needed help regardless. That was the whole purpose they were going down there. Good question. I'll get back into the time frame a little bit. I'm so into what's going to go on tonight, I haven't really went back to see all the intricate details of what's going on. Let's see who else we got here. We got a pretty good pregame crew in here, so hopefully you guys are making a lot of good Walking Dead snacks, getting ready for tonight's episode. We only have 2 weeks left, and next week is going to be huge because we got the finale and the premiere at the same time. Going to be lot of fun, so we're going to have a good time with that. All right, so tonight, here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about tonight's episode. Feel free to jump in there as well. So it's going to start out with a little bit more of the tearjerker. This has been divvied up. Instead of all the emotion in one episode, man, these producers, these writers, they had to kind of give us little by little. So tonight is going to be Rick reading the letter from Carl, and we're going to hear Chandler's voice, so it's going to talk about the little things. We're going to get moderators of firefighter. What is a firefighter calendar, Crawfish? Does it just mean that they're on a really wicked schedule? You're going to have to send me a message and clarify that. I didn't know there was a specific. Is it like you work one night and you're up the next night and then you're sort of rotating shifts, I guess? All right, we'll get a follow-up with that. Thanks for that super chat. So it's going to be these little details that pop out. And one of the things, I know the letter's been posted and we talked about it, is going to be how Carl wants Rick to enjoy the little things in life. So let me kind of put that in perspective, because just in a short period of time, Carl went from just being a kid to all of a sudden, you need to work this war out, you need to do this, and Dad, these are the things that I want for you. Oh, I got you. Hold on. I just got it. I got it. All right, yeah, you mean like a Chippendales calendar or something like that. See, this is why I have the moderators moderating, because I can only jump in and get bits and pieces of chat, because there's literally like hundreds of things streaming up. So, but thank you for that super chat. All right, let me get back to Walking Dead, something I know a little bit about. So, we sort of talked about Carl's long-term impact, but it is more so how Rick is psychologically going to look at the war. And that's going to come out next week with the ultimate plan and the final standoff versus Negan. And we also know that Negan is receptive toward working out a deal with Rick, but I only think he's receptive because his back is against the wall. Once he gets the upper hand, Negan likes to flip the script a little bit. So let's look out for Negan to come up with a plan, find out who the traitors are tonight, and then look like he's going to work something out, and then I think he's going to totally betray Rick. I've got a feeling. That's not a spoiler yet, but I do think next week Rick and Negan are going to go into it looking for a little negotiation, and then we think we have a deal, and then Negan's just going to turn the tide and just say, get rid of all of them. More to come on that. A couple other things from tonight's episode. So one of the spoilers that I posted today actually had a picture of Simon still thinking he's in power. So Negan kind of went around the corner. He picked up someone. Some people said Sherry. Some people said Jadis. He just left Jadis. He wouldn't be picking up Jadis. Some people said Gregory. I'm pretty certain it is Laura, because the time frame would make a little bit more sense, and what we know is going to go down would make a little bit more sense as well too. So Negan has someone in the back. He pulls up to the gate and basically says, don't tell anyone I'm here. Then we get Simon just sort of going around. He's talking to Gregory. He's got his speech. He's got all of these things. But then Negan comes down the stairs and sees Dwight, and Dwight looks like he's seen a ghost. So this is where Negan wants to start prodding, getting information out of everyone. And I think at this point, he already knows. I'm not 100% on this. I do think he's going to find out by the end of the episode. But I do think it's Laura, and Laura is going to either tell him in advance and he's playing Dwight, or he's going to find out a little bit later on. But Dwight says to Negan in one segment something along the lines of, well, your number 2 was in charge and I had to follow his lead. And Negan's like, well, I don't want to know what he thought. I want to know what you think. And then he says, help me move this. And Dwight's just smoking. Dwight gets nervous, or when he's thinking, he smokes. So Negan says, can you put that out right there? So I do think he's looking at his boots. He's looking at his attire. He's trying to get a little bit more information out of him. And Crawfish, we do know, and that is going to be part of the spoiler. I posted it a couple hours ago on the channel. So Simon is going to be choked by Negan. But hold on that thought, because I do want to, those people that have not watched the spoiler earlier today, I'm going to kind of get into that leaked picture and what all that means. So tonight's episode is going to be a little bit of that drama, like who knows what about whom, and the whole time Negan is in this jolly mood. So it just shows that when Negan has that upper hand, nobody else can read him when he's really jovial, right? So he's just kind of, people are probably even wondering, like, what are you so happy about? All this stuff is going wrong. It's because he's finally going to get to the bottom of what's going on. More to come on that in just a second. So as you can see from the picture up on the screen, Rosita and Daryl will run into Eugene. Now, other sites earlier in the week speculated that, this was not me, I said we were using some new information, but speculated that Daryl and Rosita would run into Sherry as well. Now, I don't have any confirmation of that. That is just something that was floating around out there. I don't know if that's even true. This very well could be the old friend that they are confronting. That would make a little bit more sense when you use, like, confront. I don't know that Sherry would be the right verbiage, or that, it'd be the right way to sort of talk about their meeting. But we did talk about it. What if Sherry is lurking around there and she's looking for an opportunity to help rescue some of the other wives or rescue some of the other people? That's still in play. We have not verified that at all. So do want to say they definitely meet up with Eugene and have an interaction with Eugene. We're going to talk about what he's thinking here. But I do want to jump in and say what's up to DeMarco Andretti. Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate you being here. So, if you have a follow-up question to Marco, go ahead and type it up. Moderators, you can let me know if there's a question that comes with that super chat. I would love to freeze the conversation and jump over to that. So this is from tonight's episode. There's also a lot of interaction between Eugene and Father G. Eugene's spending a lot of time looking at the bullets, and that definitely is our sign that the bullets are going to become a big, big part of the season finale. We know that the bullets are sabotaged. How they get sabotaged, I think we're going to get a little bit more information tonight. There's two predictions that came out of some of our earlier videos. One was the prediction that Rosita and Daryl will go in and save Father G and Eugene will get away. That doesn't look like the case. The other prediction is that Eugene will tell them about the plan. Now, we didn't really take that very seriously in the chat. It did come up, and we were asking several people, like, do you think they'll know? And now it does look like there could be some interaction. Or maybe Eugene has been making bullets, and then Rosita will have an influence on Eugene, and then he will go back and he will do something. They won't kill him. They won't take him out. I'm going to ask you right now, because we don't have 100% confirmation on that. How do you think the Eugene situation, we'll ask this question once again for everyone in chat right now, everyone watching the playback, how do you think the Eugene situation is going to play out once Rosita and Eugene have a face-to-face meeting? And I'm going to read a couple of these comments. So give me your best thoughts, give me your best predictions at this point. So Joe definitely makes fake bullets, but does he make them prior? Does he tell them about it, or do they let him go and then he goes back and makes them? Now it's looking a little bit more like Daryl and Rosita might know something. Otherwise, why would they let him go back and continue his work? Tobin says Daryl will want to kill him, but Rosita will stop him. Tammy says, I think she's going to try to kill him after a little dialogue about Abraham. Well, Lonnie says she will guilt him into helping. Crystal says they're going to fall in love. Nope. This is a comic book story that is not going to play out. Eugene has a change of heart. So I'm getting a lot of predictions with this, but some parts of this obviously don't add up, and like I said, this is a blank space we don't have spoiler information for tonight. So, as I stated, Eugene is working on some stuff. Father G is there, and Rosita and Daryl make the trek over, but then Rosita has this interaction with Eugene. Now, for her just to kind of catch the fish and let him go does not make any sense. I mean, she knows he's the bullet maker. So she's not going to just let him go, make bullets, and then jump into the war. So they would either kill him, which they're not going to do. They would capture him, which doesn't appear that they're going to do. The only way I can see her letting go, and I don't know if that was Chris Raining's. Chris, was that your super chat? Was that your prediction earlier in the week? The only way I could see them, honestly, letting him go is if they are going to know that he's going to help them. And if they do know that, that is going to kill a really, really big storyline for next week. I mean, if we know that going into next week, it's sort of going to take away the whole surprise. So of all the things going on tonight, this is probably the story I'm most interested in seeing how it plays out. Liz Burnett says, at the very least, she'll hit him. I would like to see that. Chris with another super chat, I think reinforcing his PD bomb, his Chris bomb from earlier in the week. Hey, you know what, Chris? If it plays out that way, I'm telling you, I'm going to be the first person to... I'm going to be a little shocked, I think. Because I just think that's something that should be a surprise. But maybe if we know it going in, there's going to be some bigger surprises than that. It's a good point. Hippo says maybe she does, he does tell them something, and then we're a little surprised why they let him go. I guess that's a possibility. All interesting stuff. I could probably talk about this storyline for a while. Chris with a follow-up says, yes, it was Rosita. Probably, she says, she will kill him if this plan doesn't work. So a little more to come on that. I definitely, we're gonna react to this later on tonight because it's good stuff. So we also got tonight Aaron's in some rough shape. We saw a little bit of the sneak peek where Aaron is fighting walkers. He has, no water, no food. He's in a rough situation. It's going to have to be Cindy is going to jump in there. I don't know that all the women of Oceanside are going to go over and help. I really, if I were to throw a bold prediction out there, I think the women of Oceanside are going to split up. I just have this feeling that they're going to be part of the Whispers later on, and there's going to be a few of them that do go and help, and Cindy will be one leading the charge. I don't think the whole group can come over because they just don't want to leave their situation. So Scott Kernan with a follow-up says, how will this episode end with Rick and the war? Tonight's episode is, we know the events that go down, but how the events go down, not really sure. I got a feeling it's going to be the Dwight thing. I got a feeling that the Negan-Simon situation will play out, and Dwight will think he's off the hook, and Negan will put him in pinstripes or put him in the orange prison uniform. Joe Fulford says, I don't understand. How does Negan figure out Dwight? Laura tells him. Just catching up with a couple comments. Sergeant Chosen One says, don't like Oceanside, love Cindy. I'm right there with you. I'm not a big fan of half the people at Oceanside, but there's a couple that I think will be a good merge. But I really been looking forward to Cindy getting in with the group. So a couple people are predicting the Rosita will pop Eugene. You don't even have to hit Eugene. You can just Major flinch, that type of thing. You can look at him and he just kind of cringes. There's no need to hit Eugene. Unless it just makes her feel better. All right, yeah, Rachel, love that kid. And here we go. Let's get to the big news tonight. And many of you probably saw it either on the spoiler video we did a couple hours ago or squeaking through the internet over the last couple days. The big news tonight, and this is how we think it is going to play out, that after Simon kind of goes around, does his recruiting, is making his play, Negan shows back up. Negan gets all his lieutenants together. He sort of walks around with Lucille in his hand. And there's that one picture where he puts his hand on Simon's shoulder, and Simon just kind of closing his eyes. I think Simon knows it's the end of the line, but apparently, major spoiler, Negan decides to have a showdown with Simon tonight. Not going to beat him down with Lucille. Does apparently ask him to kneel. Simon kneels, expecting to die, and Negan decides that they're going to have hand-to-hand combat to decide the leader of the Saviors. Now, once again, as stated, this is an anonymous source, so take it for what it's worth, but I'm giving you the information exactly as I got it. Negan and Simon will have a good old-fashioned throwdown. The purpose of this is to show the group that Negan is worthy to be in charge, and he doesn't need the bat in order to be the leader of the Saviors. And according to pictures and according to spoiler information, Negan will choke Simon to death. That's the way it is supposed to go down. Now, future speculation, does someone shoot him afterwards? Do they put him out of his misery? Do they keep him as a walker? Will Negan keep him as a walker and turn him over to Jadis? That's what I want to see. I don't have that information. If they don't do that, it is such a waste of an awesome ending. And I totally get, letting them fight it out, letting them, do whatever to show who's boss. But, Simon basically was up there to kill all of them and to turn all of them. So, and it was Eugene's idea and Negan's plan to sort of execute it and do it, but Simon took it to a whole different level. He just wanted to turn everybody. So for Negan, I think it would be awesome to keep Simon alive and hand him over to Jadis. If not, maybe they shoot him, put him out of his misery, whatever the case may be. But writers, listen to us loud and clear in the future. We got some really cool stuff that the fans would like. You got to check out 999 Army because we're going to make the show popular all over again. Nerve says, any theories on Jadis? Is she like a government scout or something? No information on Jadis as of yet. She's in with somebody. She knows the people in the helicopter. Unless she was just going undercover. All right, so for some of you that want some Fear the Walking Dead spoiler information, so this is tonight's episode. Should be a lot of fun. Next week, obviously, is going to be the season finale and is also going to be the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead. So if you guys, I'm going to wind this video down. So the true Walking Dead fans, thank you for being here tonight. Enjoy the show. Have a good time. If you guys are interested in Fear the Walking Dead spoilers, give me a quick 444 in chat. And actually, you know what? Scratch that. Scratch that. I'm going to get like 100 scores. Let's get 150 people to like this video. If we can get the other 100 or so in here that have not liked the video, then I will give Fear the Walking Dead spoilers. How about that? So all I'm going to ask you guys to do for these Fear spoilers is, and I've got some Morgan information for you, is just hit the like button. Because a lot of people would ask how some of this is going to play out. This is top secret information that is floating around out there. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. Getting close. Come on, everybody. A few more likes and we'll get these Fear the Walking Dead spoilers out for you. All right, close enough. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Enough people are hanging around. So, warning, this does have some fear information. If you're not down with that, then go ahead and roll out. Apparently, next week, and this is not in Walking Dead, this is in Fear, Morgan is at the Heapsters. So what we're hearing is that Rick, Carol, and Jesus will make a cameo appearance on Fear the Walking Dead. So this is what we're hearing. And this is going to go down at the Heapsters area. And it's kind of strange, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Jesus tries to persuade Morgan to go back to the hilltop, and he just completely ignores Jesus. And then apparently Carol tries to sway Morgan to come to Kingdom, and he doesn't do anything either. And lastly, Rick tries to get him to come back to Alexandria, and he ignores Rick. And then apparently we see Morgan packing up, leaving. He runs, he drives until he runs out of gas. He's just going night and day. I'm telling you, it's almost like a Forrest Gump scene. And then flash forward. John is with Morgan, and they're at a camp. So that's a little bit of what we got. I mean, I'll go through more of these Fear spoilers next week, but we'll get to see Cowboy John with Morgan. And let's see. Morgan finds a tent, and what else we got going on? John sneaks up, disarms one of them, and they both get caught. It's, who is it? Athena? Is that her name? And this is where they start to meet the new characters. Hold on, I'm just going through a couple notes here. There are walkers too. Morgan will get injured, and so I guess they're going to refer to her as Al. So Althena, Alethea. All right, I'm going to go back and check her name because I've got like 3 different variations of it. How can you trust a spoiler that gives you 3 different variations of a name? Hey, trust them. We're a trusting group here. All right, I'll go through and I'll dig down into the spoilers. Like I said, they're just some really quick notes. Let me sort all of it out. But anyway, that's the way it goes down. With the premiere is, you know, we're going to be watching Fear, and all of a sudden we're going to see Jesus, Carol, and Rick on Fear the Walking Dead, and then Morgan gets that running scene, and next thing you know, there we are. He's with the group, so you don't really know. You assume that it's current time, that everything is sort of up to date, but of course Walking Dead could have a time skip as well. So that's what's going on. It looks like it's going to be interesting. And let's get into the first week, see how the premiere goes. We'll definitely have an interesting reaction video next week talking about the finale and also talking about the new stuff that's out there as well. Rick Fisher chose WrestleMania over the 999 Army. I cannot believe this. All right, we're going to forgive you one time, Rick. Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate you being here. All right, that is what we got. Everybody should be super excited. I hope that all of you join us for Fear. We're going to just whine that all the way through the season. Lieutenant Crawfish wants to know, will there be a villain in Fear the Walking Dead like Governor or Negan? At some point there will, but I think it's going to be... I've kind of just glossed over the spoilers, to be honest with you. I haven't done the deep dive like we normally do before we do a live stream. That's why I just wanted to give you a couple bits and pieces. I don't think immediately. I think there's going to be a little distrust with the group. And then they're going to be in badass mode. They're just going to be killing walkers and doing stuff to show that they're a tough crew. But, of course, at some point, they're going to run into somebody. They always do. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here. We're not going to do shout-outs tonight because I'm going to let you go get ready, you know, prepare your dinner, do everything for the show tonight and save just a couple minutes. But I want to sincerely thank everyone for being here. Appreciate everything that you do for the channel. We will be back tonight after Talking Dead. It's probably going to be about 11:20ish, so it will be a little bit late. We are going to be reacting to what we think is going to be the death of Simon, and also I want to see how this Rosita and Eugene episode plays out. Thanks once again. Slap that like button, subscribe if you have not. Join us every single night of the week. We're here doing some live streams, and I will talk to you all in about 3 hours. Peace.